Okay, here we're on step number 2, acquire the images that will be used within our project. So I'm going to go up online, so I'm going to click on Safari, open up the browser, and I'm going to type in Google right here. You have the image option. I'm going to select images. Images I'm looking at are, we need 4 of them, a football, a basketball, a soccer ball, and a picture of a blue devil. So I'm going to start with and for some reason years ago I used Spalding balls, so I'm just going to stay with Spalding. Basketball image, up pops basketballs. I'm looking at that image that were on the grade sheet, and you know, they look maybe like they're maybe 2 inches across. So I'm looking at each one of these balls, and what I'm looking at more than anything else is something that will make it very easy to clean. So I'm looking at the sides of these, like this one. I'm gonna have to clean out and remove all that different all the color in the background in order to put it onto my page. And so a nice white background will actually work the best. And then second to that, I'm looking for size. So it looks like the images, if I had a 2 to 3 inch image, it would work well, and then I could reduce them to the sizes I want. I'm looking at some of these, and this is about, see how it's 500 by 500? That's 500 pixels by 500 pixels. And we know inches. Here, pixels is somewhat relatively close. If I was to say this is probably about a 5.5 image by a 5.5 inch image. And so I'll show you later what when we switch to what the difference between the pixels and the inches are. But 5 inches, I'm going to stay, that's about 2.5 inches. I'm going to look at this one, that's about 7. It's huge, I don't need it. 5, so it looks like most of them are all coming in 5. So and then it just comes down to look, which one do you want? So I'm going to stay, that's a nice one, it just has it right there in the middle. So I'm going to click on this one. And my images, notice how I'm not going to select one of the thumbnails. If I had right clicked and selected back on the thumbnails, the previous screen, I would have got a much smaller image. So here, I'm going to, on the right side, select full size image. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to say save image as. It's going to say, where do you want to save the image as? I'm going to say, on my desktop, there is a folder I created called RLS Athletics Photoshop, and I'm going to take part of this away. I just needed to say basketball. I don't need all this other fancy stuff. And so now I have my basketball. I'm going to hit save. Now you have the idea as to what I tried to create. I'm going to hit back. Up here, website for this image. Here. Still not. Oops, I shouldn't have clicked website for this image. I should have clicked Google Images. Spalding, football. Return. And here's my footballs. This is about 2.5 to 3 inches. 5. You know, I'm just going to go with this one right here on the spot. Now this is a bad selection, and it won't make sense why it's a bad selection right now. Best selection I could probably make right now is probably this image here, maybe this image, but probably not. This image, this image. These ones are bad, and I'll explain to you in a few moments why it's going to take me much longer to get this image. So I'm going to select it, knowing I'm going to have a lot of work later on. I'm going to come up to full size image. I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to say save image as. There it is. I'm going to type in football. And I'm going to save it in that same folder. And now I'm going to go get my soccer ball. And go backspace. And you see here, Google Images. That's where I want to go. So I'm going to click on Google Images. And this time I'm going to say Spalding soccer ball. And let's see what we get. Lovely. Again, these are all, this one will be an easy one to clean off. This I'm going to have to clean off the background. You know what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to select this and clean it up. So I'm going to, what's the size? 2.5? Perfect. So I'm going to select it. I'm going to say save full size image. I'm going to right click on it, save image as, and I'm going to put soccer. and click. And the last thing I need is my Blue Devil. I'm going to go back, click on Google Images. I'm going to type in here Blue Devil. Oops, I should have done Images, Blue Devil. And let's see if I can find, there it is right there. That's the image I want. I'm going to go full size image. I'm going to right click on it. I'm going to say Save Image As and Blue Devil. Notice how when I save these, especially because it most likely will end up on the web, that I don't use any spaces. And I'm going to say Export As, Save. And as of now, I'm done with step number 2, and I can go ahead and create my canvas for Photoshop in step number 3.